The following material contains strong language and adult content. Please be advised.
Well, my honey's off to work, the kids are headed to school. Slim and Madam Bum about to act a damn fool. It's the morning routine. Hey, yeah, the morning routine. Yeah, you got Adam, Bum, and Slim. They doing them. It's the morning routine. Good morning. Morning routine, y'all. Woo!
What up, everybody? It's your boy Adam Bomb back once again with another episode of the Morning Routine Podcast. If you haven't hung out with us yet during our live shows, make sure to check those out Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on www.vaporradio.com. You can also download our app on all iOS and Android devices and enable our Amazon Alexa skill. Go into the Alexa app, search Vapor Radio, enable it, and you are good to go. We appreciate all the love and support. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, you can always email us at mailbag@vaporradio.com. You can follow us on Twitter at VaporRadio1. That is the number 1 at VaporRadio1. Facebook.com, search Vapor Radio, like the page, share the page, tell all your friends and family about it. We definitely appreciate it. We're growing more and more every day, and we can't thank you guys enough. So enjoy the podcast, and peace out.
That's all she really had. Like, if you really think about it, right?
Yeah.
We really don't give a fuck about what they're into.
Well, yeah, okay, you're right.
I don't want to get you in trouble, man. See, I'm with a girl. I can talk some shit because she knows I'm an asshole.
Look, okay, I'm an asshole to an extent. Slim knows I'm an asshole. Everybody knows I'm an asshole. My lady knows I'm an asshole. But so there's usually the age difference is Slim to me. We're not that much difference, but he's 42. I'm 36, and you are sir 25, 11. Right? 11.
Yeah,
that's all right. I'm 36 with the mind of a 10-year-old. Excuse me. So I realized as I got older that you can't be an asshole all the time. I talk shit to my lady, man. And sometimes she's like, "That's enough. You've gone too far." It's like, okay,
you're right.
You're right. I'll stop there. I know when I've crossed my boundaries. We gotta be put in our
place, bro.
Yeah. In my 20s, though,
I will say that
I couldn't hold down a relationship for nothing because I played too much.
No, and that's the thing. You have to do it. You have to do it with righteousness, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. If you're gonna be an asshole, you gotta be an asshole for real. And if you're gonna be a nice guy, you really gotta be a fucking nice guy for real.
There's no gray area of nice guy or asshole. You're either one or the other.
You're either one, and the thing is, you can play the mode of a nice guy. I'm really fucking. I became an asshole because women fucked me up because I was jaded, right? The typical story. That'll do it for you.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And so, but I was the lovey-dovey guy.
Oh, bro. See, that's tough. I've never been that guy. Like, that's gotten me in trouble sometimes because I don't do the whole cuddle on the couch. I'm not the guy that greets you.
Are you fat?
Nah, I'm.
No, you don't have to then. You don't have to. Fat dudes have to. Fat dudes have to, bro. You have to. Listen. It's bad enough we're not wanted, right? As fucking fat dudes.
Yeah.
So we gotta do everything in our will to keep the woman, man.
Look, I'm not the greatest looking guy either, so I developed my sense of humor because I had to.
Be funny, man.
I had to. I wasn't killing them with looks. You know, I did radio for a reason. What's the saying? I got a face for radio. It's
exactly,
the truth.
Man.
It's the truth. Hey, man, I'm glad to have you on here, man. We've been trying to connect for a minute. It's going to be a good show.
I'm the worst to get back to people, man. So I'm glad that I'm finally able to do this too, man, and the opportunity presented itself. So thank you for having me.
Yes. And we got some new music today. It is the weekend before Halloween. There's probably gonna be a bunch of Halloween parties popping off. Were you ever much for Halloween parties back in the day, or now, or anything? I say back in the day because I'm used to talking to Slim.
I loved Halloween, the idea of Halloween. And then as you get older, man, everything just fucking like sucks.
Yeah.
Because no grown-ass dude can get into a costume and not be looked at by his niggas like, nigga. Come on, man.
Well, it depends on what your costume is, right? Like, if you...
Right.
Because, see, I always still, like, I feel like I can still dress up, but now if I'm going to dress up, I got to go, like, blood and guts and gory. Like, it's got to be something dope.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dress up as Peter Pan and get away with it. Like, I'm gonna give the people.
I feel like we dress up though. I feel like men dress up for the whole year when we wear like jerseys and shit. We trying to be the fucking player.
I'll give you that.
Right? So there's something to that. I think it's. I always look at it as a chick thing though, man. Like a lot of what do you call those damn things? Holidays. Now, girls get so excited about, like, they love Christmas and they love fucking.
Hey, there's
Halloween,
no lie.
you know, so.
Here's I love Christmas. If I had the money, I'd be the Griswolds. I'd have a million lights on my house. I'd have inflatable snow. Man, it'd be a damn winter wonderland in my front yard.
Really, man? That's hard.
I love
That's
the
hard.
decoration of Christmas. Like, I hate the planning for it and I like all that stuff, but I want that winter wonderland. I want people to drive by, snap pictures of my house, like
you know what it is, bro?
Stuff.
I think I want a house. If I get a house,
yeah,
I would probably go all out, and I probably wouldn't be the fucking Scrooge.
You have to, right? Like, that's your spot. You got to represent your spot. Like,
it's your crib, man.
You don't want to be the guy in the house, the Scrooge on the block that's like, why is his house dark at Christmas time? Oh, it's like, all right, Boo Radley. Shout out to Kill a Mockingbird. Like, all right, Boo Radley, creeper across the street. Like, yeah, you don't want that. Like, all the houses are lit up and Merry Christmas, and here's the dark house on the corner. Like, hey, stay away. Get out of my yard, you little rats. Like,
well, I probably will be that way. Everybody says I'm old. I'm getting old. I have like the old mentality, and then I'll yell at kids. And I'll be like, yeah, because like they shouldn't be on my property. That's true.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Get off my property.
The conversation actually really happened because I live in an apartment complex. And I want to see what you think about this.
Okay.
So I live in an apartment complex, and I totally get kids getting into the pool, right? It's just...
Which is rare because we're in the Northwest. So the fact that there's a pool in the 2 weeks that we have nice weather, but go ahead.
Right, pool and a hot tub, right?
Yeah.
I keep it open for the summer too. But some fucking little shitty kid put bubbles in the hot tub.
Oh, what a dickhead.
And so apparently at one point of the summer, and so they had to, refill the tub. And I was that made me start to think, why do we allow kids to go in the hot tub? If there's if there's two of those, if there's a pool and a hot tub, keep the kids in the pool. The adults are only in the hot tub.
So my pops lived in an apartment complex growing up, and when I would go over there to visit him on the weekends, yeah, I was that kid. Every other weekend, shout out pops. We'd go swimming in the pool. That was like the big thing to look forward to. But there was specifically a sign that said no kids in the hot tub. Like, if you had to be like 13 or older to go in the hot tub. Like,
thank you.
You couldn't go in. Yeah. So, keep your little raggedy ass over there in the pool, swim around, get your little floaties.
No, they let kids here in the hot tub here, and that's what I was like, no, they should not do that.
I feel like a hot tub is an adult thing.
Yes.
Like,
agreed.
you're supposed to go in there. You're supposed to relax. You know, go in there with your lady. Things may happen.
Loosen up. Yeah,
but
exactly.
you know, yeah, like you get a little wine. You know, they say no alcohol, but let's be real. That's I got a black water bottle for a reason. You don't know what's in my cup.
Well, exactly. I've done this party thing a little too much.
Yeah, I know how to bring alcohol where they say no alcohol is supposed to be. Trust me, I've been around the block. For anybody that's not familiar with DJ Dan here and his work, he is also, as he said earlier, he's a musician, singer, songwriter, rapper, producer, engineer, does all of it, gets on, makes beats, does it all. Some of y'all might know him as Label. How'd you come across with the name Label?
Dog, Label actually just came randomly. Like, I wanted people to think of my artistry, that I believe in my artistry as much as I believe in starting a business.
Okay.
And a record label is a business.
Absolutely.
And when they find an artist that they want to invest in, they will put money behind you, boy. And that's all I'm trying to say with my name, Label, man, is just put money behind me. I'm dedicated to the music like a label is dedicated to its artists.
That makes a lot of sense. Man. That's dope.
So that was the whole thought process behind my name. And I went through so many fucking rapper names, and it was people that I was working with that were giving me the names. And it never felt like, none of them never stuck, man. I got D Minor and I hated it. I got Danny Ketch, you know what I'm saying, from like Ghost Riders.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that either.
D Minor's not too bad, but it's kind of that cheesy, corny name. Like,
exactly, man. Like,
but it flows.
It just felt corny.
Though. Yeah.
The only reason why it flows is because I love minor keys and I play piano.
Okay.
That's
so
the only reason.
The
Other than
for?
that, bro, I wouldn't even say I'm good. I've been playing piano now for 12 years.
Okay.
But I wouldn't even say I'm good. I stopped really devoting time to it when I left high school, when I graduated in 2011. I only used it to produce.
So are you just playing basic chords, or do you know quite a bit about it though?
I can play some stuff. Yeah, okay. I can play some stuff. But more improv stuff. I don't play like songs and shit.
Right.
I'm not a song pianist. Like, I'm not a classical pianist.
So Slim makes a lot of beats for us. He makes a lot of our beds, and that's his big thing that he talks about, is wanting to learn the piano better. Would you say that that's like a big part of being able to make beats, is actually being able to play it? Or if you can play a few things, you can go pretty far with that?
Hey, man, if you can play a few things nowadays, it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted, I'd say you should have more musicianship if you really want to stand out, right? Like, if you want to get into start doing chords and learning shit to make you stand out. But I don't really think you need to be the best piano player anymore nowadays. Everything is just a loop.
Yeah. So that's again, Slim. He's very big on not using any sort of loops. He's gotten better about it, but what he tells me, like when he first got into making music, using a loop that somebody else developed, whether it came from a sample a long time ago, they add a little effect to it, whatever it may be. He's like, oh, that's cheating. Like, I want to be able to play everything, every sound, every boom bap, every piano riff, every horn sound. Like, I want to be able to play that so that it's mine.
Yeah.
And he's like, that was his big thing, to stick to that originality. But now, he's found a few loops that he likes to fuck with in Logic. So he might use a piano loop, but then add his own drums and all this other stuff to it. So
it's great to use to practice, though.
It can help you a little bit.
Like, nobody should ever be afraid to use the loops and shit that come in there. So practice and get your ear used to listening how shit gonna fit. You know what I mean? Like drums gonna knock. You know what I mean? And a lot of things nowadays, man, really is about the 808s and the drums.
Yeah.
As long as your drums are updated, if you're using today's modern sounds and you can really, that's when people will pay attention to you.
That's
when
what he
start
says.
Using the basic sounds and stuff like that, and nobody's really gonna pay attention to you anymore. Listen, I have a Yamaha Motif XF, right?
Yeah.
I remember I was obsessed with the Motif. This was about 11 years ago. I was obsessed, bro. And I was going to Guitar Center for like 3 to 4 hours at a time playing the fucking Motif and all these other expensive keyboards, man. And I finally got it in like 2012. And I remember one day when I was in the store and this guy was telling me, I'm trying to convince you not to buy this because the sounds are going to be outdated in a few years and everything is just going to go to computers. I promise you. And he's so fucking right, man.
Yeah.
My keyboard works for Rhodes and or piano sounds and organ sounds, but for live instances, everything in studio is all shit. And I don't know if I would be playing any more live shows, but that's the thing. It's really about a live performance keyboard, and I should have listened to that guy, man, because it really is. Them drums are outdated as shit. They sound like 2005 Scott Storch drums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's Slim's big thing too, is the sounds, is buying the sounds. And that's our next investment for Vapor Radio. Shout out Native Instrument. We're trying to get that. You want Native Instrument, help us out. We're looking for sponsorships. Like, plug us in. We just need some sounds, man.
Scream it all out to the world, bro. Let it manifest that shit. Cause
that's what we're trying to get, is that Native Instrument. So you say you started playing about 12 years ago. Is that when you really got into making music too, like rapping and writing?
So I was in 8th grade. And I was I was just playing around with computers. So I was learning how to record myself and how to make beats. Well, the making beats thing came about 2 years later. So I started playing in about 8th grade. When my music teacher came to me, he was like, he was an amazing piano player. That was his first instrument. And his other instrument was trumpet. So he was like, you want to play piano one day randomly? Because I wanted to do drums, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to bang on shit.
Yeah.
So then I tried some other ones. He let me try the trombone and all this stuff. But then he was like, you want to play piano? And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll do that. Because since I was a kid, I always was like tinkering around with like the cheap Casios and shit, bro. So I was like, fuck it, man. And he told me there's like circle of fifths and all this shit. And then I ended up going to high school, to a vocational high school. It was vocational and academical, right? Are these words? Am I using like real words?
Yeah, your word. Yeah, it's
I went
fitting.
to public school. So I half day or part of the day I spent doing a specific major, and then for the rest of the day I had my other classes, right? Science, math, whatever. And so I loved it, man. It worked out so well. But when I first went into the school, I went in for computer science.
Okay.
Because I was really getting into like coding, HTML and shit. And I fucked with it. But I was like, About a month in, they started getting into image map links.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, shit, like, there's over 30 kids in the class. She can't just keep coming over to work with me. And I understood it. I was not offended at all. It wasn't like I was gonna cause an uproar like fucking blind people do nowadays, man.
Yes, thank you.
About like, oh my god, no accessibility.
Yeah.
Like, how about just not be a dick for a second and understand that some things just can't happen?
Yep. Oh, thank you.
But I decided, I was like, perfect. I'm given an opportunity to switch my major. I went to music, man, and it was the best thing that could happen to me.
That's dope.
The best thing that I got to fucking play with some professional musicians. The professional musicians that came to the high school to do the music for the musical or do it for stuff for the assemblies, right? These were like it was a father and son, right? And they played for Britney, a fucking Beyonce, when Destiny's Child, fuck, you name it. Jasmine Sullivan, like you name it, they played for these fucking guys. Stevie Wonder, the son, played for Stevie Wonder for 2 years, would help him on stage and shit, all that. So it was one of the best things that could ever happen to me, man.
That's dope. And then how'd you, so one of your main dudes, you guys do a lot of work together, and we've reached out to him. We're going to try and link up with him this weekend, grab an interview with him. Big shout out to Question, holding it down in ATL. How'd you link up with Question? How'd you guys start making music together?
I'm going to tell this story because I've always wanted to keep it real about it. I knew Question a few years ago when he was like young boy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And there was all these rumors going around about how he like taken some samples and he remixed some remix and saying that he did it or whatever, but it was a Skrillex remix. And I was like, I heard some similarities and I was like, damn, man, that shit fucked me up, man. Like, I was like, this kid is good too, man. Like,
yeah.
If he was saying that he was doing beats for Vibe Beats back in the day, right, and all this stuff, I'm like, I wouldn't think that he would steal this shit. So I never let it on. I just talked about it once or twice or whatever. So then a couple years later, I saw him. We talked a couple times online, but it was never anything crazy. But I saw him in Colorado. I took a trip and visited. He was doing the Colorado Center, man, and I got to hang out with him. And he was showing me his music, and I'm like, oh wow, this nigga is crazy. He grew, man. He was rapping his ass off, right? So I'm like, yeah, man, I know you've heard some of the stuff I've done. I had some freestyles that were floating around the internet and shit. And so he knew I was trying to get into the rapping thing, but he knew I was a singer too. He was like, oh, we can put you on some hooks, whatever. So then, yeah, man, he sent me 2 beats. And the one was this like DJ Mustard-esque shit sampling. I got 5 on it.
Okay. And this was what he made these beats.
He made this beat.
That's dope.
Yeah, he made these shits. Actually, I'm gonna send you that song too, so maybe you can play a clip of it in a little bit.
Yeah.
But he killed that shit, man. And I was like, all right, fuck it. And that was our first collaboration together, bro. That was in 2015. So the last 3 years, we've made a lot of music together. He's got a whole other team of a bunch of his boys that rap, and they're doing their thing. And so we put a whole collaborative project out this year called BNF, Blind and Famous.
Yeah, so
Volume
we
1.
actually talked to one of the dudes, Migo Traffic. He goes by Migo Traffic.
Yeah,
we talked to him at I guess he's out of Arizona. We talked to him a few months back.
Traffic's dope.
Played
man.
a couple of his tracks and whatnot. So yeah, Migo Traffic doing his thing, and I saw Question was on one of the tracks, doing a hook, I think, of his, and I was like, okay, so somehow they're tied together. So that's dope.
Oh no, that's his boy, man. That's his boy. And they got tracks together. We also got a homie named Q. He goes by Demaster.
Okay.
And that's the homie right there too, man. He's really good. And him and Question got records together right now that are really popping. We have a song together called Form that was really dope. And that was also on BNF. So go download that. I'm gonna make sure you get the link so you can put it out on the socials, man.
That's dope. And we're gonna jump to the line real quick. Slim had an opportunity to call in, so he wants to call in and ask a couple of questions about making beats. So let's bring Slim on the line real quick. What up, morning routine? It's the boss man, Slim.
What up with it?
What up, dude?
What you know good?
Hey.
Man, I'm sitting here listening and is school in session? I need to figure out a couple chords. What's happening?
You know what it is, man.
You know?
Just hit the line, bro. You know we linking, man, but you know I work with you and we talking about chords, you know.
Yeah,
later on too. YouTube was the shit, bro. So
yeah, well,
I see y'all hold it down.
Yeah, so that's where you've learned some of your stuff too, isn't it, Slim? Like you just go on YouTube and that's where you've been getting some of your Logic stuff, right?
That's basically that's what I call like a class in session. That's what I do, man. I comb through the YouTube and try to listen for some good tutorials. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is, of course, we can't see, so I got to find something that's hella descriptive. And I done learned a lot.
I only vibe with the videos where they tell me what
that
finger.
I cannot get somebody to show me on YouTube is how to do the fucking keys. I just need a couple chords and I can figure it out from there. You feel me?
Because most of those YouTube videos, right? They're just like,
keys.
I'm going to click here and then I'm going to click. Well, where are you clicking, fool? Say it.
Exactly.
I don't know where you're clicking.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to open up the Flex tool. Where the fuck is the Flex tool at? What is the Flex tool? So, shit like that, though. But, man, big shout out to the homie DJ Dan, man. I appreciate you, bro. Good looking out. We got to get you on the Vapor Radio, fam, and catch that wave with us.
You know what it is, man. We got Question and Label with Q&A sessions. It's our podcast, and that's going to be coming soon. You know what I'm saying?
Also,
we talk hip-hop, so.
I got a fat-ass, 2 gig hard drive on the way. I'm going to have to get some of them updated new sounds from you, that Playboy. You know what time it is.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I like talking to you.
Oh, of course.
We
working.
Slim's
always working.
He's always hustling.
Look at Slimmy.
Always trying to hustle.
He on this shit, man. He on this shit.
I need, man, hey.
I got these cheeseburgers.
Hey, man.
Cheeseburgers.
I suck your dick.
Well, I don't know about I don't like sound that much. I keep what I got.
He said, whoa. He said, what?
Yeah. That's it. Hey, that's what's happening. I'm going to have to get with you, though, on everything. And,
hey, man, we link it, man.
Because that's what's happening.
Hey, we appreciate you, Slim. Hey, go enjoy your wedding and stay away from the bar. We don't need you getting too tipsy.
And don't fuck the fucking bride, man. She's taken.
It's too late for that. Hey, man, y'all be good.
Appreciate you, Slim. Thanks, man.
Already.
Big shouts out to Slim, co-host normally DJ Dan, filling in for him today. We appreciate you, Slim, as always. So you sent me a couple of these Question and Label things that you did. You got a couple of them in here. Is there one in particular that you like more than the other? We can play a little sample for some of these people.
That's a great question. I didn't really think about that when I sent them to you.
I'm going to be honest. I like this Paid in Full one. I heard that on SoundCloud. Go check them out on SoundCloud. They are there. They got some stuff up there if you want to check their stuff out. Yeah, man.
We're on SoundCloud. We're on YouTube. YouTube under Question Official. And then SoundCloud under It's Label.
I said Paid in Full. It's Payroll. My bad.
Payroll. Yeah, that's a hit, man.
Let's hit this one.
That's a hit. That's a fun one. Yeah.
Let me turn this up a little bit. Y'all check out Question and Label. This is Payroll right now on Vapor Radio Morning Routine.
I'm trying to let you know you fine as fuck and your work games sound mysterious. And I vote 10 more to the floor before the game gets way too serious. I'm curious, experience and J-rolling. Got friends, gather in the room, conference. Not to shoot it on, no Compton. Hear the phone ringing, now we chime in. Now you sitting back, that's reclining. Got the J rolled up, let me light it. Checking out the office beside it. To make you my employee of the week, go. Have a position, use his dick and take a seat, go. Treat the bed like a court, we shooting free throws. Now we filling the wallet, shut the receipts, go. I'm remaining the boss that's never dethroned. Show you to follow the leader, it's really simple. Design to let you purchase. Bitch niggas be nursing, got a drip of gushing and squirting. That's why I'm always at first place. Chauffeur your boy, now we skirting. Got her legs wide open like curtains. You other wannabes is thirsty. Go home, just come to work early. Okay, I'm trying to get this lady paid before your hand to start the clock. A couple things I gotta say. You could be my every secret in our little role play game, and I could be yours. Cause why? I'm about to put you on the payroll. Baby, this is what you came for, yeah. Now we're checking your credentials. Walk your way up from the ground floor. About to put you on the payroll. Baby, this is what you came for, yeah. Now we're checking your credentials. Walk your way up from the ground floor. I'm trying to put you on the payroll. See you after your cream cheese like a bagel. I wanna show you all the places that they can't go. Give you some bankroll, cause you so authentic like a J-Lo. Whoa, get it right, that's nice. Give me a light, hit it twice and you might feel the vibe. Came with your girls, but you leave with your guys. 10 pinky girls come down on the line. Pull up and turn your town into mine. Turn up every time we out in the night. Look up and throw 3,000 in the sky. Now I'm alive. I'm just trying to get you used to more than the average shit you used to. Cooler than a VIP, you can hit the dude too. Choose you, cause you the shit to do. Feeling like you move with the voodoo. Really feel the vibe once I get to know you. Let the game flat, then I get to do you. Gotta speak facts, the shit I'm true to. All your friends asking, is this the new you? They see there's something. These niggas gossiping about me. Guess they hating or something. I got them waiting on my time. Just be patient, it's coming. Even if I put you on this payroll, I ain't paying for nothing. It's just a lot of dollars falling. Commas keep them calling. Play your baby mama, ain't no drama, tell her falling. Cushion cool, they keep me coughing. I'm always feeling awesome. Never been about the nonsense. Q and M on the payroll.
Yeah. All right. Question and Label right there. That's Payroll. Check that out on SoundCloud. Dude.
Come on, goddammit.
That's dope. So that was Question right there on that second verse. And you opened up the track. And like I said, we're trying to link up with Question sometime this weekend. We're going to put together an interview. We'll run that next week. Yeah, man, that's dope, dude. So
Question was rapping his ass off, bro.
Yeah, and big shouts out. He's doing some big things. Like he just perform at South by Southwest this last year.
So he did South by Southwest. He was also at AC3. Is it 3C? So it's a big music festival, man. So he killed it, and he's been linking up with people. Man, he's been getting fucking looked at by fucking Goody Mob, man. Goody Mob was in his live, bro. That's the shit. So
that's dope.
That's what you want, man. When the city that you're coming from is bigging you up, man. And you know his line is best thing out since Outkast, because he's from East Point, and that's where they were from. And a lot of people are just letting him ride with that. They ain't hating on it, man. They love it.
That's dope. That's dope. And we should say too, like, let's be real. We don't try to front around here. We do all of this blind. I think that
man.
I don't want to put that out there like, oh, you know, poor us, blah, 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 whatever. Like, nah. This is, don't overlook what we can do and can't do. Like, we can do just as much as everybody else and anybody else, and sometimes we do it better. So I just want to,
and that's why sometimes, bro, and I'm so glad you're saying that, and I'm so glad you're saying that on the radio where everything could be documented, because the whole issue I have here is there are blind people like us who need to be, and I don't mean cocky in a sense of like really understand that you're the only, or think that you're the only shit ever. I always will understand that there are people that are better than me. 1000%. It's just logical. But in the vein of this, this radio shit, this music shit, and the dedication, it's unmatched. It's unmatched. You can't beat it.
I agree.
You can't match it, man. It's hard. And sometimes we got to pat ourselves on the back. And a lot of blind people don't like that because they feel like, oh, you're really cocky and whatever. But no, it really is about knowing that you're good at what you want.
And at something that people probably look at and say, well, how do you mix and master this? How do you see this? Don't you have to see the frequencies and cut this and bring this down? You don't, nah, man, it's just sound. As long as you know how to use your software, as long as you know how to use what you're using, it's just sound, man. It's just sound. That's why we love this shit. All you got to do is just sound. It's just tweak this, play with this, stretch this.
If you're sighted and you look and you rely, I understand looking at the meters to double check, but if you rely on meters, then you're not a trusty sound engineer.
Yeah, you got to go for that
because
pure
you're not
sound.
Trusting your ears, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And big shouts out to Slim's little brother Snipe Loke holding it down in Vegas. He said that to us too before. Like, he is sighted. He is a fully licensed engineer running a brand new studio down there in Vegas. Engineer, producer, rapper. Nigga. And he said that same thing. He's like, man, I may look at the frequencies to trim some things here and there, but if it still doesn't sound right, those frequencies, what I adjust, doing that, making things match, look good, whatever, that doesn't mean shit if it doesn't sound right. That sound, that pure sound of the boom bap and the keys and whatever else it might be, man. It's just he's right on, and just as you just echoed what he has said, and it's all about that sound. It's that final project, and if the sound is pure and it sounds what you want it to sound like, then you're doing something right.